You know, in a professional email, just one single letter can be the difference between a simple update and a direct order from your boss. Today, we're going to break down that subtle but oh so powerful Spanish grammar choice that determines whether you're just getting information or you're getting a command.
Okay, so how does this all work? First up, we'll look at a really tricky email that could mean two completely different things. Then we're going to uncover the core principle behind it all, information versus will. After that, we'll expand our communication toolkit way beyond just one verb, see what happens when doubt totally changes the rules, and finally, really dig into why getting this right is such a game changer for your career.
All right, picture this. You get a message from your manager. It seems simple enough, but what you do next depends completely on how you interpret it. Is this just a quick heads up, or is this a direct instruction? Let's break it down. So what's really the difference here between envías and envías? I mean, it all comes down to that one last letter, right? If your boss writes que envías with that AS, they're just passing along information. It's a fact. Marta said you are sending the report. But if they write que envíes with an ES, it's a whole different story. Now they're relaying an order from Marta. She says you should send the report. One is just an FYI, the other is a to-do. Your response totally depends on getting this right. And that choice, the one between the indicative mood in envías and the subjunctive mood in envíes, well, that's not just some random grammar rule you have to memorize. No, it's a very conscious choice that reveals the speaker's true intention. So here's the absolute key. What is the speaker's intention? Are they simply declaring a fact, just passing along information? If so, they're going to use the indicative. Or are they trying to influence someone to express a wish, a command, or maybe a suggestion? That's where they use the subjunctive. It's the difference between reporting the world as it is and trying to shape it.
The verb decir, to say, is just the perfect place to see this principle in action. Depending on the verb that follows it, its whole meaning can shift. In dice que viene, the speaker is basically just a neutral messenger. They're reporting a fact. Javier said he is coming. Simple. But in dice que venga, the speaker isn't neutral anymore. Now they are transmitting Javier's will, his command, or his request. The message isn't he is coming, it's he should come. The speaker kind of becomes an instrument of someone else's influence.
And here's the cool part. This whole principle isn't just for decir. It actually applies to an entire family of communication verbs, giving you this powerful toolkit for pretty much any professional setting.
So think of it like this. On the left, you've got your verbs that are all about reporting facts. If you write, comment, or announce something, you're generally just stating information, so you use the indicative. But on the right, you've got your verbs of will. When you ask or recommend or order something, your goal is to influence an outcome, and that's what triggers the subjunctive. All right, now this is where the rules get a really fascinating twist. When we use verbs of thinking, like creer, to believe, or pensar, to think, the game totally changes. Now, it's not about someone else's will, it's about your own level of certainty as the speaker. So, when you state something you believe as a fact, you're presenting it with confidence. You say, creo que la reunión es a las 10. From your point of view, that's a fact. And because you're certain, you use the indicative. But watch what happens the second you negate that belief. No creo que la reunión sea a las 10. All of a sudden, you're not declaring a fact anymore. You're introducing doubt, uncertainty. The ground has shifted from reality to maybe, possibility. And it's that shift that activates the subjunctive mood. And this chart, it just lays it all out perfectly. Take a look at the column on the left. Every single sentence starts with an affirmation, creo que, and the verb that follows is always, always in the indicative. Now look at the right column. The moment we switch to negation with no creo que, every single verb flips to the subjunctive. It's like a light switch. Affirmation hits one mood, negation hits the other. So why do we need to care so much about this? Well, because in a professional environment, mastering this distinction isn't just about being grammatically correct. It's about being a really effective and nuanced communicator. It's all about what linguists call interactional meaning. And this isn't about the literal dictionary definition of your words. No, it's about what your choice of words says about the relationship between you and the person you're talking to. Your grammar sends a powerful social signal. So suddenly, That tiny choice between dice que vienes and dice que vengas becomes this huge strategic move. It can establish hierarchy, it can clarify tasks on your to-do list, it can shape your professional relationships, and ultimately, it demonstrates a really high level of professional mastery. Getting this right proves you don't just speak the language, you really understand the culture of communication. So the next time you're drafting an email or about to relay a message, just pause for a second and ask yourself, am I here to inform or am I here to influence? Your answer doesn't just determine your grammar, it determines the real impact of your message.